Hey everybody, Will Hamilton here, and these are my picks for the women's half of the 2010 Australian Open. Now, what I'm going to do is go through the draw. I'm on AustralianOpen.com, and I'm going to go through the draw and talk about the various matchups and talk about who has a good draw, who has a bad draw, and ultimately make my predictions on who I think is going to win the tournament. Now, in the first quarter of the top half of the draw, and you'll see what I'm talking about if you follow along on the Australian Open's website. In that first quarter, you have Serena Williams, and I think she's obviously the number one seed. I think she's going to come through this quarter of the draw. There's nobody really here that I think is going to give her too much trouble. Maybe Zvonareva or Azarenka, who's seeded 7. But to be honest, I think Serena's not going to have too much trouble getting through this part of the draw. She did tweak her knee recently, but she said it's not an issue. So I expect her to make it through relatively easily, make it through to the semifinals. In the second quarter of the draw, you have Caroline Wozniaki seeded 4. I think she's going to be the one that comes through this quarter of the draw and will be facing Serena in the semis. She, somewhat amusingly, I guess, is facing Alexandra Wozniak in the first round. So you got Wozniacki and Wozniak playing in the first round of the tournament. And she does have Venus Williams in her quarter. Venus is seeded 6th, but Venus hasn't really been making too much noise recently, and she hasn't been playing particularly well. She didn't do great at the U.S. Open, so I don't really have a reason to think that she's going to do too much damage at the Australian Open. I think Wozniacki has been playing better recently, and she's going to come through this quarter of the draw and again face Serena in the semis. Now, in the bottom half of the draw, the first quarter of the bottom half of the draw, you've got Elena Dementieva seeded 6th, and she has a completely awful draw. In the second round, she probably will be facing Justine Henin, and that's terrible luck for her. Henin obviously should be seeded, but because she's coming back from a several-year retirement, she's not. She recently lost to Kim Clijsters in a tight 3-set match in Brisbane, so she's playing really well, and that's just really bad luck for Dementieva. To be honest, I think Henin's going to win that match. Wouldn't be surprised if Dementieva won it, but Dementieva sometimes has inconsistent results. She doesn't go as deep in tournaments as her seed would suggest. The most obvious recent example would be Melanie Oudin taking her out in the past year's U.S. Open. So I think Henin's going to win that match. And then you also have Kim Clijsters in this section of the draw, and I think ultimately Clijsters is going to be the one that comes through this quarter and makes it to the semis. You also have Kuznetsova in there, seeded 3rd, but I think Clijsters, the way she's been playing, she won Brisbane, beat Henin. I think she is going to make it through to the semis. And in the bottom quarter of the draw, the very bottom, you have Jelena Jankovic at the top part. She's seeded 8. And you have Dinara Safina. This was sort of the toughest prediction in the sense to make that I don't really trust Safina, who's seeded 2, or Jankovic to make it through. They are, pretty inconsistent in terms of the results, and mentally, we all know Safina sometimes comes apart. So, I think Safina is going to come through, but I'm not extremely confident on that prediction. And then with the semis, I predict Serena and Wozniacki, and I think Serena is going to win that match. She'll get to the final, and I think you're going to get Clijsters over Safina. So we're going to have a Serena-Clijsters final, and that's a rematch of last year's U.S. Open semifinal match. Of course, that really controversial match, which Serena got defaulted from, and Clijsters went on to win the tournament. I think you're going to have a reversal this time. I think Serena beats Clijsters, and she wins the Australian Open. I think Serena probably is going to be pretty motivated from what happened at the U.S. Open to win that match. And Serena is the most mentally tough female player on tour. She's a great model for everybody else in the sense that she always fights. So I think that is sort of the main edge I would give to Serena, is that mental toughness. Again, one of the most mentally tough female players ever. Now, in a video I uploaded a couple days ago, I asked y'all to make your predictions, and not just who was going to win, what the matchup was going to be in the final, but also the score. And the person that got closest was going to win a free year for FYB Premium, $250 value. Well, we're going to sweeten the deal. Tennis Express is nice enough to let us give away $25 gift cards, so we're going to tack that on. And if you click my finger, it will take you to the appropriate video where you can listen to sort of the terms of the contest and you can make your predictions. Now, we're also going to be releasing videos periodically over the course of the tournament. And in every video, I'm going to be talking about a marquee match that's coming up, and we're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to talk about the match. Whoever can predict the score the best is going to win a $25 gift card as well. So Tennis Express essentially said, I can just give away gift cards in all of these videos. So that was very nice of them, and I'm going to be doing that. And you don't necessarily just have to predict the score. If you say something insightful, maybe some good analysis, I'll throw in a gift card with that as well. I'm technically not authorized to do that, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it, and hopefully it'll be cool. But so look for that. Again, every single day, essentially, we're going to be uploading a new video with some match commentary. We'll have the whiteboard up there where I'll be scribbling away and diagramming some strategies. So I'm looking forward to reading through your comments, and I'm looking forward to the Aussie Open. I think it's going to be a great tournament. Talk to you soon.